Praline. Once again, I'm here to do a beginner's guide to collagenous colitis. If you don't know who I am, join the rest of the world because I am nothing special. But I do have a chronic illness called, are you ready? Collagenous colitis. So glamorous. I mean, wow. How lucky am I? I know when I got diagnosed, there was just nothing out there for me. There was no article that I could read. No one really, I didn't know who to even reach out to at that point. I couldn't really find anybody talking about this. So as time went on, I just thought, okay, I'm going to start doing videos about it because I want other people to know that they're not alone. And I want us to be able to teach each other and learn from each other and advocate for this illness because there's so many of us out there, but like no one's having these conversations. You know what I mean? So always feel free to add stuff into my comments, suggestions, anything. I love seeing you guys talk to each other. I love talking to you guys. It makes my world go round. So, okay, let's just jump into this. What is collagenous colitis? If you've just been diagnosed, I'm sure you're like, collagen who? Because that's what I was like. He said that, my doctor said that to me, and I was like, huh? Who is she? Never heard of her. I knew what ulcerative colitis was. I knew what Crohn's disease was, but I did not know what this was. And he said it was right in the middle of both, and it's between a rock and a hard place, if you ask me. So collagenous colitis is a form of IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, not to be confused with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. It is also an autoimmune disorder, meaning my body or our bodies just attack it themselves. They don't know where to put their anger, so they just take it out on themselves. They're like, oh, I don't have a foreign invader to attack, so I'm just going to attack myself. And they go at it. They go at it. I always say it feels like there's Keebler elves building tree houses over a lake of hot lava. That's generally what it feels like. So there are causes to collagenous colitis. I remember I asked my doctor, I said, is this my fault? Is it something I did? He said no, but in my opinion, it was something I did. I went through a lot of trauma, literal trauma, and a lot of stress in like a year's time. I will not go into that stuff, but whew, took it right out of me. And also I was genetically predisposed. One or both of my parents carry this gene. And so homegirl got it. She lucky. Also, NSAIDs. I know that's not really how you say that. NSAIDs. NSAIDs. Certain antibiotics, antihistamines, certain medications, ibuprofen, stuff like that, can cause this, especially over prolonged periods of time. Using those things can cause this microscopic colitis to develop, I guess you could say. So those are the main things that I know cause this illness. There are a wide range of symptoms. Pain. Pain is one of them. Emotional, mental, physical pain. That is a symptom. Obviously, the D word. We all know about that. And then I do hear that people also on the opposite side of the spectrum get a little constipated, which I'm like, ugh. Which one's worse, right? Like, what the F is what I have to say. Nausea, which, guys, I did not experience nausea the first year I was suffering and I didn't know what I had. But the last 6 months, this nausea, the other day on Monday, I was in a flare. I just came out of a 11 to 12 day flare. Last Monday, I was so nauseous. It was like, I don't know if you guys have ever been crossfaded, but that is what it felt like. Or when you go to bed, when you drink too much and you close your eyes and it's like the room is spinning, you're like, oh, I'm messed up. That's what it felt like all day. I don't know why or how or who. I felt like I had to crawl on the floor. I was going to fall over like I was seasick. It was ridiculous. Sorry, I don't like nausea. I would take anything over nausea, in my opinion. I cannot handle the nausea. Also, joint pain, fatigue like you cannot imagine. brain fog, loss of appetite, dehydration, what else? Those are like the main ones those are the main ones that I can think of right this second off the top of my head. Yeah. These symptoms are just out of control. I also have like a hard time sometimes cognitively when I am not feeling well. I have a hard time like articulating and stuff. It's very weird. I think that has to do with the brain fog though. So great. Thanks so much. Added to the list. Also, diet. I will preach this forever. Diet matters. I don't care what your doctor said. My doctor said it didn't matter, but it does. The majority of us are intolerant to gluten, so I feel like that's a really good place to start if you have just been diagnosed, to completely eliminate gluten from your diet entirely. No cheating, no cross-contaminations, nothing like that. A lot of us cannot tolerate dairy products. A lot of us cannot tolerate soy. I can't have chicken, egg. That goes with like spicy food, processed food, fried food, raw food. We cannot tolerate it. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So just a good jump off point is trying to figure out what exactly your body is intolerant to. So here's the tricky part about that that I learned was when I have inflammation in my body can't tolerate anything, even my safe foods. So I started to think, wow, I can't eat anything because I'm having this reaction to everything that I'm ingesting. But the key is to let that inflammation kind of go down. Eat your safe foods, even though you're going to feel like trash and you know you're going to feel like trash. Stick to the safe foods and wait till the inflammation passes and you'll see like, okay, I can actually eat this and I'm not having a reaction to the food. My body just has inflammation. Therefore, I cannot tolerate pretty much anything that I ingest. So that's my advice there. There is a place called Entero Lab in Texas. You can go online and order some tests. I don't believe in most insurances cover it, but it was worth it for me because I had no clue. Like I didn't have anybody to tell me any of this stuff. So I was just like, I have no idea where to even start. So when I did the Entero Lab, it was a great like, here are 4 things that you just cannot have. And I eliminated those. And I found about 4 or 5 safe foods that I could eat, and I ate them every single day on repeat for almost a year, guys. I just wouldn't risk it. I would not eat anything I wasn't sure about because I needed to give my body and my intestines time to heal and get that inflammation down. Depending on your age, depending on how long you've been having the symptoms and you've gone untreated, it's going to take your body time to recuperate and recover. So that was something that was really hard for me to kind of grasp and comprehend. And slowly now, I've only been diagnosed officially for a year, but I suffered for a year before that, just not having any idea what was going on with my body. So basically the last maybe 3 weeks, I've been slowly adding things back into my diet. And I'm like, okay, like I used to react to this, but I wasn't. I just had the inflammation. So I can eat this, and I just write it down and I keep track. And, I don't eat at restaurants. I don't eat any takeout. I don't cook at other people's houses. Like I'm very, very cautious. If I'm going to do something, you got to plan ahead. When you have chronic illness, you have to plan your days. You have to plan ahead. You have to find out what works for you. You have to get in a routine. And your lifestyle is definitely going to change once you've been diagnosed with collagenous colitis. It is what it is. And I think chronic illness in general is like that. So it's going to be hard. And the symptoms will pop up. And you're going to be like, what is this? Oh, it's a symptom. Put it in your pocket. Write it down. Plan. Plan. Take notes. Take notes. I got a little chronic illness journal and I would just write everything down. If I slept, what I ate, how I reacted, what probiotics I was taking, what supplements I was taking, everything. And after a while, you start to see these patterns and you start to learn from the patterns. It's hard and it sucks and it's annoying because especially me, I was real lazy with myself before. And now it's just so much work, so much effort. And then just be very mindful of, are you ready for this? Sit down if you're not ready. Stay hydrated. Don't play me. Guys, I've read that we can die from this due to dehydration. That's the only thing that we could die from this though, so it's not terminal. Chronic, but not terminal. So please, my friends, stay hydrated. Hydrate. Hydro flask it up. Stay hydrated. Please. Hello, do you hear me? Hydrate yourself. That's pretty much it. Once you are diagnosed, you will notice what your triggers are. Stay away from them, especially stress. I know I said that already, but I'm going to reiterate, full circle back to that. Don't stress out. Don't. Which is easier said than done, because once you start getting symptoms, that's stressful and scary and emotionally exhausting, and it's really hard to keep up with this illness. But I won't stop trying and talking about it. So that is my beginner's guide to collagenous colitis. I hope it helps. I talked about, you know what I forgot to talk about? Fail. How do you get diagnosed? Hello, how could I forget to talk about that? In order to be diagnosed with collagenous colitis, microscopic colitis, you have to have a colonoscopy. I had to have both a colonoscopy and endoscopy. It was a lot of fun. I actually did a video about my experience with that. And then they have to take biopsies out of the area of intestine where the disease is present. Then those biopsies have to be sent to a pathologist. The pathologist then will examine said biopsies and then diagnose you with your chronic illness. That is how you get diagnosed. That is the only way to be diagnosed with collagenous colitis. That's it. That's it. There's ghosts in here. Ghosts of Christmas past are in here. Anyway, yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys for listening. If you want to add anything, tell me to stop talking, ask me to stop doing this, put a thumbs down on this video. Not for everyone. But yeah, like, subscribe. Let's grow our family. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.